What is going on, everybody? Happy Labor Day. It is Monday evening. That means it is time for another episode of the I-71 Playbook Podcast. I'm BB, and with me, as always, is DC. You, oh, no, we're going to get to that. We are going to get to that. Also, I have been engaging online, so I've been doing some a little smack talking on the interwebs, but absolutely, no. So,
Horns down.
horns down. We will get to that shortly. But
Absolutely.
how are you, sir?
I'm good. BB, I'm actually fantastic. So I kind of want to start out. I want to start out somewhere football related. Here in Northeast Ohio, the home of professional football, also the home of the Professional Football Hall of Fame, right there on 77 across McKinley Park in Canton. And
Okay.
what a wonderful Taj Mahal of football they have built. You have you have Tom Benson Stadium. I mean, it's a mini professional stadium, beautiful facility, really, really cool field, great setup. Where they play the Hall of Fame game, thumbs up. And right next
Right.
to it, you got the old school dome with the football coming out of it. You know, the Hall of Fame that's been expanded and expanded and expanded throughout my lifetime of going up and down
Okay.
77. You know, I grew up 20
Okay.
minutes from there.
I
But
do.
but they have added to this building right
Oh,
off the corner of Fulton and 77. They have put a giant garbage bin, maybe the world's biggest garbage bin. So I can tell you have not been around there in a while, but let's
I
go
thought
back
that was in Pittsburgh.
let's go back 3 years, BB. 3 years
Okay.
ago, they started with the Hall of Fame Village, an over $1 billion investment in Canton. Okay. The Tom Benson rebuild was part of that. The addition, they
I've heard some horror stories about the Hall of Fame Village and its legal rights, but that's a whole different
so
conversation.
so
But go
they
ahead.
put in this really cool plaza. They got some really cool restaurants that have been now faltered and going out of business. One's suing to get out of the contract right now. Behind it,
Oh,
they have this big Ferris wheel and they have this little mini amusement park. It's really cute, but there's never anybody working there. It's never ever running. They do have the they do have the um, fields where they do the flag football and everything for the NFL. Really nice, really nice. You know, McKinley High School has a really cool setup there. They get to play at that field. But
okay.
they also, with these businesses, what's the word I'm looking for, that seem to be in trouble,
Okay.
they were going to build Ohio's and one of the biggest indoor water parks in the country. Did you know this?
I did not know this because when I
The
think of Ohio, I think that's the perfect destination for a water park.
well,
Because
it's the Hall of Fame Village. So
the
you want to
ones
make
the ones that are currently in existence are not, shitty at all and don't have their own problems. But that sure, let's add another one. Let's go for it.
the the
Okay.
idea being families come and they stay a weekend, right? Not you don't just come, go to the Hall of Fame, walk around for about 3 hours, which by the way, the Hall of Fame is brilliant. It's beautiful. It's awesome inside. I got a couple friends of mine that work there. They do a fantastic job. And the Hall of Fame itself is wonderful. But here's the problem. They started construction on this water park. The
Like you
building's
do.
up. The building's up. It's enormous. It's right beside the Hall of Fame. Can't miss it. It's the biggest building on
Okay.
77 until you get to Cleveland. It's enormous. And the problem was they're gonna have some tubes coming outside the building, going inside the building because that's where the slides are gonna be. It's gonna be really cool, right? Well,
Sounds like a water
they
park.
they ran out of funding. And for whatever reason, nobody's funding this thing. So there is a big, huge building sitting there for no apparent reason with black plastic wrap all over it. It looks like a giant garbage bag all over it to cover up these holes that they put for the tubes, which, by the way, all the tubes for the slides have been sitting outside the building now for 2 years. You can go see the slides deconstructed behind
Maybe
this. And
Maybe
I
I'll
don't
put those
know.
ones on.
So I go by there today, and I just don't know why Raj can't cut a check. Like he's making 60 mil, a million of that. Raj, cut a check, finish that off. Or somebody in the NFL, and I'm sure there's politics. I'm sure the city of Canton's involved. I'm sure there's
Of
developers
course.
involved. But oh my God, you have this beautiful, beautiful facility, which is the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and
Mhm.
attached to it is the world's biggest garbage can.
I mean, that's fitting for Ohio, honestly. I mean,
You watch your
let's
mouth.
see.
I know you're not down here anymore. You watch your mouth. I love Ohio.
I do too, but I mean,
I
where
just
is the lie though? Like,
why 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 can't somebody just finish this project? Like
all right, so
I
here's
don't.
my proposal to you. You are feeling so passionate about this. You cut a
What do you
check,
want me?
dude. It's
You want
your
me?
hometown.
You
You
want
can
me?
you can
You
step into no. Listen, you can step into the shoes of your man crush, LeBron Ramon James, and you can give back to the city that birthed you.
so couple things. I was not born in Canada. I was born in Alliance. Go Aviators. Second of all, there's many differences between me and LeBron. Once again, his vertical, his natural athletic ability,
His
his
tan,
bank account.
his
Um,
tan.
lowly retired teacher, insurance salesman guy here can't really swing that. But
I'm
seriously, somebody like this can't, like when the NFL goes there now, it's been 3 Hall of Fame weekends or weeks. Okay, one of the biggest celebrations in Ohio is Canton, end of July, Hall of Fame week. It's amazing. It's so awesome. How can the NFL higher ups go to that facility, look at that, and go, "Yeah, we're cool." Yeah, that's how we want our Hall of Fame to be represented. That's how we want the men and
all
women that are in
all
the
I'm
Hall of
hearing
Fame.
are excuses. All I'm hearing are excuses.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a check. I'm on it. I'm on it. So
I'm
no,
not
I
saying
just
you have to solely write a check. I'm saying you could start fundraising efforts yourself.
yeah
Take it
yeah.
on
I'm
as
gonna
a
go.
passion project.
Like I said, I'm just gonna GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Help me empty the garbage can that is the Pro Football Hall of Fame right now. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Um, link in bio. There we go.
So, how's your week going? How's everything going for you, BB?
Um, I'm breathing, so that's a good thing. Much despite the efforts of the local wildlife um, in that state up north where I currently reside. My allergies have been absolutely just like horrible, and I don't know if it's when I'm like getting older or whatever. Um, but it's just awful. Other than that, had a rather enjoyable weekend last weekend. Um, had a pretty interesting surprise that was not banking on. So, my person and I took a weekend in Detroit. We were going to go on to the Tigers game, and it is a grassroots funded, completely fan organized Magnum PI day. So you get hundreds upon hundreds of people dressing up in the traditional Old English D, baseball caps, aviators, mustaches, red Hawaiian shirts, tan short shorts that are testing the decency codes for Comerica Park. Saw a lot of thigh on that Sunday. I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of pale thigh.
So if I can give a little context to that to the kids out there, back in the '80s, for some reason, adult men wore short shorts, like what we call Daisy Dukes, for whatever reason. Like they would have jeans and just cut them off. And I'm not gonna lie, one time my mom had to tell my dad to put his testicles back in. It's a true story. So seriously, uh,
And you always are on me that we're a family show, sir. Whew,
But that's a true story. Yeah.
whew.
And it wasn't just my pops. It was a lot of
Oh
guys in the
no, it
'80s.
was it was it was just about every adult
Hence,
male.
watch Magnum PI, folks. Tom Selleck would wear some of
Right,
those.
and he did. So this has been going on for a number of years. We went our very first time was last year, and we had an absolute blast. So we definitely decided we wanted to go again this year. Um, so we go, and there was a huge group of the people that sit in the stands. They were going down onto the field, and my person was like, "Well, do you want to go?" And I was a little embarrassed, so I was a little shy, and I said no, and I'm regretting it because this year the team is starting to lean a little bit more into it. So, which is awesome to see. Like they're really getting behind it, they're really supporting it, and this year they absolutely supported it. Um, Unbeknownst to literally everyone in that park, Magnum PI himself was at Comerica Park. Tom Selleck was there.
That's awesome.
It was like, so we were going to get something to eat, and we saw the number of the magnums that were down on the field for their on field experience, and then out comes Tom Selleck, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I'm like, we should have followed the leader and followed the group. We could have met Tom freaking Selleck. But he also got to throw out the first pitch, and
That's amazing.
it
That's
was
so
a lot
cool.
of fun. It was total shock. Like nobody knew, but it was the coolest thing. Like they had him come out in a red Corvette, which is what he drove on Magnum
Red
PI.
Ferrari. Red Ferrari.
Oh, it was a red Ferrari. You are correct.
So
I just remember it was a
just
red sports car.
funny story about that Ferrari. One of the ones that he drove is actually on display at Sarshone's Auto Gallery in North Canton. They have one. So
Oh,
I got to
okay.
actually, and I actually sat in it. And I do not have pictorial proof because I left my cell phone in the car. I was walking through there. I have all these supercars, hypercars, Bentley, you
Yeah.
name it, they have it. And I'm like, the salesman's there, and I'm like, is that Magnum PI's Ferrari? And he goes, yeah, you want to sit in it? So I did. And I was like, I'm like shifting, go through the gears. It's so much fun.
Oh my God. That's wild. So we had an
That's
absolute blast.
awesome.
Unfortunately, the Tigers did not win that game. They tried, but their pitching was not could not carry it through. So there was that. And then, another long weekend this weekend with Labor Day going into it. And we kind of stayed around the house. I watched a lot of football this weekend. A lot of football. Um, at this point it's show prep. Like it's just, oh, I have to watch for the pod. And I got to do a little Code Orange shopping. It's the most wonderful time of year. A lot of stores refer to it as Halloween or seasonal. I refer to it as home decor because it stays out year round. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
Fun stuff.
So as we're ending the summer, and before we get to talk about the big topics here, as we're going into end of the summer, um, it has been a summer of movies for me, as we know. Started out with the
Okay.
Thunderbolts, by the way, now on Disney Plus, number one streaming movie on Disney Plus right now. Go watch it, guys. If you like Marvels, Thunderbolts is one of the best movies they've done in a while. Then How to Train Your Dragon, banger. Then F1, which, by the way, once again, I am now addicted to F1. My boy Lando Norris, his car blew up on him yesterday, so he didn't finish. As he
Oh,
was about to 4 laps from the finish line, he's in second, trying to catch his teammate Oscar Pistori. Oscar Pistori tries to catch him, and he's like, "Oh, I smell oil." They brought up his mic, and then you just saw, yeah, his car. So he did not finish. Really hurt him
well,
in the standings. Still second in the standings, but Lando,
I
we still got 9 races left, buddy.
I guess smelling oil is better than smelling toast when you're driving because that's indicative of a stroke. Which is what you were kind of giving me, trying to explain
So hold on, I'm
what the
there.
hell you. No, no, no. I was
I'm
gonna
getting there.
say what you were. Let me finish a sentence before I call you by your full government name on the internet. I'll do it. Don't play with me. No, so a little transparency here. We shoot a text between each other, usually earlier in the day before we record, and then we just kind of give little bullet points of like what we're going to talk about, um, and just kind of touch base. And the text that came into my phone gave his bullet points, and then it made no sense to me. And I literally thought I asked you, I'm like, are you having a stroke right now? Because those are all words. So tell what is your
So
latest
so
movie
bangers.
obsession?
So F1, then I saw Superman, as we've talked about, the Cleveland filming and stuff.
Right.
What Superman, one of my favorite. That might be one of my favorite all time superhero movies. I mean, just crazy good. And then Fantastic
Okay.
Four, not one of my favorite Marvel films, but it was an enjoyable time at the movie. So it was just boom, 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 boom. So 2 weekends ago, I'm away from home. I'm looking at my cell phone. I'm a little bored. Pull up some Netflix,
Hey, hey,
and
hey,
number
there's a
one,
show.
the number one what? Little, I'm away from home, a little bored. I pull up Netflix. I'm not saying I'm Netflixing and chilling. I'm just saying Netflix. So
Easy.
the number one streaming movie in the world on Netflix is this thing called K-pop Demon Hunters. So let me give you a synopsis. Um, it is an animated film by Sony Animation Studios. People did Into the Spider Verse, which, if you've seen Into the Spider Verse and Across the Spider Verse, I don't care if you like superhero. They're just incredible films. They're beautiful. They're well written. The music is just insane. Some of the best. And Marvel didn't even do it. Sony did it. Like, just great stuff. For once again, you're just looking for a little time waste into the Spider Verse. Well, the studio that did that did K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm like, well, I really like those movies. Um, what's this about? And it literally is about a girls K-pop group who hunt demons on the side. The K-pop is a front, and they are demon hunters. And so I turned it on, and once again, grabbed right away by the animation. Looks amazing. And within 3 minutes, I'm hooked. And I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And a couple things. It is Netflix's number one movie of all time. It's its first release. They actually sold out 1,000 theaters last weekend to put this on the big screen because Netflix goes straight to home, and then so it's the first time they've ever done that, and they sold out every theater. Uh, four, 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 four of the songs
Numbers
on the
are
soundtrack.
hard.
Four of the songs on the soundtrack are on the Billboard Top 20 right now, including the number one song and number four song. The soundtrack itself, now, once again, I know it's K-pop. The soundtrack isn't really K-poppy. It's poppy. It's catchy. It's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard to a movie. It's top five. It's up there with like Top Gun, The Awesome Mix Volume 1, Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's up there. And I just tell anybody, before you poo-poo it, go on Netflix. It's an hour and a half. I guarantee you won't regret your decision. And yeah, and I am not a 13-year-old girl, and I love this. Speaking of 13-year-old girls, Taylor,
Whoa!
Taylor, Travis,
Easy.
Taylor, Travis. Congratulations, guys.
Absolutely.
Good for you,
Um,
kids.
the amount of just insanity that the internet has kind of taken and run with that whole thing. Um, I am not a Swiftie. I know, shocking. Um, but I was watching clips from the when she was finally on New Heights, and Travis was like a little kid on Christmas morning. Like if you look at that man's face, anytime that she said my boyfriend, he just like looked like the little kid with his hand caught in the cookie jar. Just because they knew, like that's when they did it. Essentially, is either before or after that. Um, so if you are looking to make money, apparently play poker with Travis Kelsey because he does not have a poker face. But you know what? Good for them. And I know that a certain demographic is already losing their fragile little minds and their egos um, because this news is everywhere. Um, First of all, I love that for them. That makes
Me too.
There is nothing that makes me giggle than like mediocre white man tears. Like it does something to me. It warms my black little heart. If I could put it in coffee creamer, like I totally would. They're almost as pissed off about the Taylor and Travis engagement as they are about the fact that the Minnesota Vikings have two male cheerleaders on their cheerleading staff this year.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. But that's
Oh, you haven't heard any of that? Oh my gosh.
no. I have not.
So now, mind you, college, there's guys on the squad because they're,
Yeah,
yeeting girls up in the air and somebody's got to catch them, you hope. Um, but I mean, cheerleading was inherently actually a male sport way back, when Jesus was a toddler. But now it's coming to the forefront and they're in the NFL. Um, and heaven forbid two men in like they're in like shorts and a vest. Like it's nothing. They're not in
right.
skirts. They're not in like, dance bras. It's fine. Um, but heaven forbid now that there's two men on the sidelines to take and detract away from the, you know, 52 men that you're looking at for 60 minutes. Heaven forbid there's two of them that are waving pom poms. Like holy God. So I think there's almost as much of the certain demographic that is agitated as hearing that Taylor and Travis are finally engaged. So good for them. I love that for them. Uh,
By the
all the
way,
best from the
the new
I-71
heights,
Playbook Podcast.
the new heights. It's good stuff. It is really
Oh, it is.
really good. It's
It
one of the
is.
better podcasts. The Kelsey brothers. I mean, we know they're going to be well off in their Hall of Fame careers after. Well, Jason already is, and Travis will be. But
Right.
yeah, that podcast is it's an absolute winner. It's good stuff.
It
It's
is.
fun. It's funny every time. Um, let's
Speaking
get
of
let's
good stuff,
you stole my segue.
ah,
Go for it.
speaking of good stuff, it is college football season. We are back, baby. Lot of week one in the books. Um, lot of important games on Saturday. Some interesting games on like Thursday and Friday too. Like it was a whole
Oh,
weekend. It
getting
was
ready to kick off right
great.
now is North Carolina is getting ready to kick off right now. The Bill Belichick era. Like they made it 5 days, 5 days of college football to start the season. It's been
I
awesome.
know, it was
Love it.
fantastic.
Love it.
A lot of highlights. Watched a lot of different games. But obviously the one we're here to talk about, the game of the week, the number one team in the country versus your reigning defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. A lot of disrespect leading up to this game. The media just does not like to give Ohio State their flowers at all. I mean that's been a constant thing, but it's been even worse because now you've got Arch Manning starting. And if you have been living under a rock, Arch Manning is the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, who is he's in his sophomore year, I believe,
No,
for
yeah. So
University of Texas.
it's his redshirt sophomore year. So yeah, he redshirted, sat last year, and then he's starting
But
this
he
year.
didn't sit though. Like he came in for a
He
couple
played
of games
he
when he
last
when
last year he played a couple, but he redshirted that first year because he
gotcha.
came. I believe he came out early, but he's 21, so he's been in college for 3 years. So,
I think so. I think watching that game, I think I saw more Arch Manning commercials than I saw forward passes.
so true story. There were in the first quarter more Arch Manning commercials than completions.
There were.
That's true. That's my favorite statistic of the game. And there's a lot of good statistics in this game.
And it was almost as bad, and I know you're not going to like this comparison, but it was almost as bad as when we were watching Browns games and watching Baker do the progressive commercials when the Browns are getting absolutely manhandled on the field. It's like, Bake, it's a little hard to watch you, bud, when we are not
But
doing
but
stellar.
he's now a better Mayfield.
He is. He is.
Have you
I
seen
love
that
that
one?
for him.
You seen the
No.
new commercial? Oh my god!
No.
So when we get done with this, you go on YouTube, my friend, and go just type in "Better Mayfield." It's this new Popeyes chicken campaign. Great. He is going to kill it on television when his career is over.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
no doubt.
the new Heisman's House commercial is funny,
I did
and
see that one.
he Baker's going to be okay. But I have a question for you. I'm going to give you some numbers, okay? And I want you to put it in here, and I want you to process it, and I want you to tell me what that code solves. Are you ready?
If I have to take my shoes off to do math, we're in trouble. But okay.
Okay, so here are your numbers: 9, 1, 5, 7, 1.
Okay.
Since the Michigan loss, the Ohio State Buckeyes have beat the ninth ranked Tennessee Volunteers, the number one ranked Oregon Ducks, the number 5 ranked Texas Longhorns, the number 7 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns, again, including a 3-0 record against the SEC, BB. And so,
So
go ahead. We got to give Ryan Day some kudos. I know that's going to hurt you. That's going to hurt you.
you know what? It's not. No, it's not. Because you know why? Because he's not play calling this year.
He did play call last
I
year.
can't.
Chip Kelly
Yes, he
called a couple
did.
plays last year. No, Chip Kelly called all the plays last year. That wasn't Ryan Day. He gave it up last year.
Mm, I may have to look into that and double
You,
check
you,
you,
you
but
can. I promise you
um,
I'm right on this one.
okay, we'll see. But no, I will give Ryan Day his flowers for this. I mean, the media leading up into this. I mean, the preseason rankings, everyone building um this game actually, the beginning of the game made me a little emotional, a little teary.
Oh, God. The
We can
Lee
talk about
Corso
that in a
stuff was,
second.
yeah,
We can
incredible.
talk about that in
Incredible
a
tribute.
second. Um, but it was constantly, um, oh well, Ohio State, they lost so many players and they didn't beat Michigan and blah 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 blah. Do you realize that it was 7 months? We beat Texas twice. We ended their season with a loss, and we started a new season with a loss. But Texas was going to come in here. They were going to waltz into Columbus. They had McConaughey. They had Glenn Powell. It was going to be all right, all right, all right. Hook 'em horns, the whole nine.
They had their fascist
I'm
governor,
sorry.
Greg Abbott, in the house, too. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I
Not
say it out
Governor
loud?
Hot Wheels. Not Hot Wheels. But no, I mean, if you look at every single major media outlet, it was supposed to be an ass kicking fiesta. Ohio State has never been embarrassed at home. Did we not watch the Michigan game last year? Clearly, we know how it feels to be embarrassed on our home turf.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Anyway, that was. However, it was not belt to ass. That game, there was a lot of things I liked on both sides of the ball. There was a couple things that made me go, all right, it's week one. Y'all got work to do still. But that was a defensive game. 100% defensive game. Um, and for Texas as well. I'm not going to sit here and be like, they came out here and they were just absolute garbage. No, that game was a lot closer than the scoreboards may have indicated.
So that
And you
that
and I both
Texas
had
team,
score predictions.
we did. And I was going to say that Texas team is really good.
It
That
is.
that 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 was more an indication of how good Ohio State's defense is, not how bad Arch Manning is.
Right. And see, and that's
Yeah.
now that's the thing is they're giving him a pass. It's not that here, he is a kid who this is his first road start. And I'm sorry, the shoe is an intimidating place to play. And it's designed that way. It's one of the harshest stadiums to play in as an opponent. So you've got all that. You've got all of this national media hype. You've got, it's just, of course, the kid is going to falter. And I'll give it to him. You never saw him sweat. I will say that for him. And here's the thing. Okay, right now, Texas is 0-1. They're going to be fine. They're going to come together. I would have no doubt that they'll still be a contender, in the CFP. Um, and Arch Manning will sort his business out. You're going up against an incredible defense who had, you want to talk about all the talent that was lost. Let's talk about who's returning. Our captain, Sonny Styles, wearing the Block O this year. That man is a problem in the best way possible for us. Um, I'm trying to think. My brain is.
No, I mean you have the best defensive player in the country, Caleb Downs.
Thank you.
He's the best, and he could be the number one pick in the NFL draft next year at safety.
Would not doubt it. Would
And
not.
that's
Yeah,
how good
as a
he is.
safety.
That's how
As a
good he
safety.
is.
Um,
And,
so it's
and by
there's
the way,
these.
your boy Davidson Igminosa, your boy.
Yeah,
No pass interference yesterday.
I was
Sorry, today is
so
Monday.
proud.
He
I was so proud.
played so well. Him and Jermaine Matthews at
What
cornerback. They got sick of
what
hearing all
Jermaine
this stuff
Matthews,
about. Oh, go ahead.
player of the week, by the way, Jermaine Matthews. Congratulations.
Those two probably got sick and tired of hearing how they weren't the best cornerback duo in the country because they played like the best cornerback
Mhm.
duo.
What a difference a year makes. I was so proud to not hear a dumbass penalty called on number one on Ohio State. I was so proud.
I thought about you
But
when that happened. I was like, oh, BB's gonna feel like a proud mama. All
I
all
was.
all
I
the
was
all the talking
I
tos you
was
gave to Davidson last year on the pod.
I was sitting in my living room. I was enjoying Chinese. I had my slider door open, had the big TV on. I had my person, and no penalties called for Davison Igbinosun. Thank you. Bless you. I am
Lock.
so proud.
And we're talking about throwing flowers here. I want to throw some Scarlet Carnations, the state flower from my hometown, Lawrence, Ohio. I want to throw some Scarlet Carnations at the new defensive coordinator of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Matt Patricia, your boy, BB, because he may have been one of the worst head
Oh,
coaches in the NFL of your Detroit Lions, but that guy called a game and a half on Saturday. He had Arch
I
Manning looking like Dakota Fanning. He had no idea what he was seeing. I'm watching this one of the funniest things I saw. So I'm watching this Texas guy. Like it's my whole YouTube algorithm was Ohio State Texas this weekend,
yeah,
and
mine too.
this was a Texans fan that reacts, and then he was replaying his reactions from last year. Then he was him watching this game,
Hmm.
and the very last incompletion Arch threw, he had a guy wide open in the flat. Their wide receiver, he has him wide open. Some reason he goes sidearm, rushes the throw, throws it behind the receiver. They don't complete it. The very next play is fourth down. They don't get a game over. dude on YouTube said, "Why do you have to try to look like Uncle Rico?"
Not Uncle
And
Rico.
and then
Oh,
the funniest thing
was
is like I start
was he
seeing
trying to
I
throw it
start
over
seeing
those
gifs of Arch.
mountains?
I can throw a big skin in a quarter mile. And once again, they start that scene where Uncle Rico is throwing the football in front of his camper, and they
Right?
started
Oh
showing
yeah.
Arch, and it was Arch's throw right there looked just like Uncle Rico. It was like
I uh
I was
I have
dying.
not I have not been a fan of the hire thus far of our new defensive coordinator.
A lot of people
For a
haven't.
lot of reasons. I was pleasantly surprised to see, just what our defense did on Saturday. However, good old Matt Patricia kind of stuck his, surface, vintage Patricia,
Three-time
and
Super
that
Bowl
is
champ, Patricia.
there's a name that he has in our house.
Rocket scientist, Patricia.
No, and that's not it either. It's
Because
called Prevent
he
Patricia. Because no, I'm serious. The minute that our defense started playing safe and conservative and pulling out that lovely prevent defense that we all know and love, just like that, Texas is now 14-7.
so
So my person, now mind you, my person is a Michigan fan. He absolutely is. He's becoming more of an Ohio State. He tolerates Ohio State for me. Um,
he's a good man.
he is a good man. Um, like it was him that said, well, we got to get back from the store and picking up lunch because kickoff's at noon. And I'm like, you're adorable. I'm like, we can miss kickoff. It'll be fine. I'm glad we didn't because I would have missed the Lee Corso pick and that would have been terrible. Um, but he's like, I put the game on because I wanted to see Texas lose. And I was like, that's
At least,
fair.
at least you guys in the household share a hate for the SEC, and I appreciate that.
We do. The family that hates the SEC together, I think stays together. I think it's healthy for a
Absolutely,
relationship.
it is absolutely.
Um, but speaking of the tiny little leprechaun man who we all know and love as well, Lee Corso's final college game day, that was hard to watch. One, because he is so he's up there in age.
He's
It is
90.
definitely
I
time
actually
for
looked it up. He's 90 years old now.
yeah. Um
Been a staple of our lives.
yes,
Been a staple of our lives.
absolutely. And then seeing all of the things that uh people have given him, Ryan Day gifts him a custom Ohio
Oh,
State
so
helmet. It says Coach Corso on the side. It's got Buckeye stickers on it, and it's got one sticker for every time that he chose Ohio State on college game day. And then there he is on the field in the shoe. The band is behind him, spelled out Corso, the whole nine. You know, and to hear him start to talk shit was absolutely adorable. First of all, he is not a large man. He's very small and like a pocket grandpa at this point. So he's adorable in that fact. Um, but the speaking capabilities are starting to go a little bit, and to hear him say to talk smack to Texas, and all he's doing is echoing everything that we were just talking about, that the media has said leading up to this game. And then he says the line that hit me just right in my black little heart and says, "Give me my first love." And I'm like, oh,
it was awesome. Did you see the
it was
segment with? Did you see the segment with
credits.
him? I was gonna say, did you see the segment with him and Herb Street in the College Football Hall of Fame, where
Yes,
he talked about Brutus being his first love, and it was
I
just, and
did.
then kudos to Ohio State. There's a lot of flowers to go around here. More scarlet carnations for everybody. Kudos to Ohio State for giving him that Brutus head. They gave it to him. They
The
gifted it to him.
original.
The
Yes,
original
I
one.
saw that.
Um, to the Ohio State marching band that spelled out Corso.
Mhm.
Kudos, and I can't believe I'm saying this, to ESPN and Fox Sports. If you didn't know,
Yeah.
because most people were watching game day for obvious reasons, but Fox Sports had went to ESPN and asked for permission to simulcast that pick. And so Fox Sports actually cut to game day, first time ever, to give
Yep.
Lee Corso his respect. And, that I thought that was really cool between the two networks. Also, to Lee Corso's alma mater, where he played football, Florida State, where they
Mhm.
spelled out Corso on the field and
They
upset
did.
Alabama and broke
All of the
Paul Feinbaum this weekend between Texas and Bama going down.
I love it.
I love it.
If Paul Feinbaum has no haters, I am dead. Like I'll say that. You want to talk about somebody that I despise more than uh there's a list. I mean, trust me, there's a list. We've talked about
Oh, I
this
know.
on this
I,
podcast even.
I was gonna say I'm on that list. I'm on that list every now and then too.
You do find yourself on that list. But no, I mean, but still, the hate that I have for Paul Feinbaum is just it's deep. It runs real deep. Um, but yeah, he has absolutely no idea what to do after this weekend because the his precious SEC was a little embarrassed this weekend in more ways than one. But also, all of the picks that Lee made on College Game Day for um, his last appearance, all won. All of them hit.
Yep.
But also, what's even cooler is all of the teams that he had an impact on. Either he played, he coached, because Indiana won. It
Northern
was just, it was,
Illinois, Louisville. Yeah. Yep.
woo. Louisville was my other team for a while after, living down there
Mhm.
for a number of years. That was actually that's the only college football game that I've actually gone to is a U of L game. And that is insane.
We have to get you
But
into the shoe. We have to get you into the
we
shoe.
do.
It's
We
so incredible.
do. I would love to.
Okay,
Um,
I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work on that. We gotta get you into the shoe.
did you did you go? Were you tailgating in
No,
Columbus this weekend
I
or
did
no?
not. I decided not to. Well, so I was going to go down and stay until I saw. So little behind the scenes here. I have a Holiday Inn card, an IHG hotel card with about
Hmm.
100,000 points on it, which should give me like 5 nights of stays.
Hmm.
They were not taking points this weekend in Columbus, and
Oh,
the cheapest hotel within 20 miles of the shoe was $400 a night. So I'm just like, and I wasn't going to get up. I wasn't getting up at
wow.
5 in the morning driving down there. Uh,
No.
Shout out to the crew, my crew down there that tailgates. I missed a good one, but hey, it also looks really good on my big TV downstairs in the basement. So
Exactly. Like I said, I had my own snacks. I had my own
yep,
bathroom. The parking situation was immaculate.
it's awesome when you can park right by where you want to watch the game. It's so cool.
Right? It's perfect. It's beautiful. I love it. So, congratulations to the Buckeyes for starting the season strong,
I got
one and
one more.
zero.
Yeah, I got one more person I want to talk about and hope for
Okay.
optimism. The most unheralded great quarterback game maybe in Ohio State history was Saturday. So Julian Sain, in his first start ever, not his first start on the road like Arch, his first start ever against number one. The only one to win
Mhm.
that since 1985 when Jim Harbaugh did that. Yeah.
I know. Gross.
Julian Sain, I just want you to think about this stat line. So I was trying to come up. I couldn't remember a bad throw. He was, once again, his stat line looks pedestrian. He was 13-20, 126 yards, one touchdown. But he had 4 drops. I mean,
Hmm.
in the hands. He threw a beautiful ball to Brandon Ennis. So it was a tough catch if he comes down with it over his shoulder. But
One of them was from number
Jeremiah,
4, which made me
Jeremiah,
nervous.
Jeremiah dropped 2 in a row, and
Was
then
it? Oh,
and then
and then he changed it out his
Max
gloves.
Clare, who was one of the biggest pickups in the transfer portal, dropped that first fourth down pass, which was on the money.
Yeah.
He had two smart throwaways, and he only had one ball considered inaccurate in the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the stuff we were supposed to see from Arch. But Julian's like, hey, you know what? I was a 5-star recruit. I was the number one recruit coming out my year, too. And I think he had something to prove. And to be honest with you, Brian Hartline called a very conservative game. Him and Ryan Day did not let
He
him off the
did.
leash, but he played fantastic. Like Julian Sayin is an unheralded hero of this game. And I think Ohio State's in really good hands. I think this offense is going to be dynamic.
I think you're right. I think it's also going to be one of those things where as the season progresses, and I think they all get a little bit more confident.
Yep.
Because they did bring in Julian. I want to say I think it might have been the Texas game last year. The
No, he didn't play in there. That was Devin Brown came in quickly for that. Julian Sayin played like some garbage time for 2 games, I believe, last year, but he didn't play anything meaningful
right.
last year.
No. It was nothing meaningful. Yeah, it was absolutely garbage
Yeah.
time. But he also looked a little shaky, which I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we'll see what happens. So I went into this game cautiously optimistic in regards to Julian. Um, saw a lot of things like I was impressed, and you're right. That stat line, when you look at it, it looks a little pedestrian, a little low, especially for an Ohio State game. But that speaks to the testament of the defense was just that, like, they were in his face all day long and causing problems. On the flip of that, so was our defense. And
Yeah.
actually I saw that a lot. Like I said, we watched football. We had 4 days of football and it was great. And after we're done recording, I'm gonna go watch, Bill Belichick on the sideline and hopefully don't have to watch his 23-year-old gold digging girlfriend.
Once
Um,
he's back there creeping, like she did on that 60 Minutes interview. She's just in the background creeping, calling in plays, NCAA
Listen, I am
violations all
not
around.
yet. I
She could be like Connor Stallions.
Too soon, too soon.
That's all
Because
right.
that
They'll
is
get
a
away
whole
with it. Like
that is a
Michigan, they'll get away with it.
whole again, you keep poking at me, and I like that is a whole podcast all in itself, and that one we may have to do for like a Patreon or something because NC-17. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, back at hand. Saw a lot of defensive battles actually. Um, South Carolina and
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech
Yeah.
that was a defensive juggernaut battle. And Virginia Tech was hanging in right in there with them until about 3/4 of the way down through the third quarter, and their defense hit the wall and ran out of gas, like because you could see it, and that's when South Carolina started to pull away. Was
Oh,
kind of hoping for the upset on that one, truthfully.
I was going to say, oh, so was I. By the way, Browns fans, Lenore Sellers probably put the best foot forward this weekend. Him and Garrett Nussmeier, if you're on quarterback watch for those 2 first-round picks. But if you look at Clemson and LSU was a great game too. Very, very hard-hitting, defensive-minded game. And it's this time of year too. The defenses are always ahead of the offenses. It always takes a little bit to get
Absolutely.
the offense. And we saw that all across college football. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It
Good
was,
stuff.
and so like I said, I'm not coming out here. I'm not feeling um the levels of like Kyle McCord that I
Oh,
was with saying. Um, I think there was definitely room for improvement. I think you can agree with me on that one. And I think as the weeks go on, and he gets a little bit more confidence, they get a little bit more gelled together. I think they're gonna be great. I think
I,
I think
I
we should
haven't
be.
felt I haven't felt this good about a quarterback's first game at Ohio State since Troy Smith. And
That's
you
fair.
know, and I know that's going back about 20 years, but even like CJ Stroud, you were kind of like, I think he's going to be good, but Will Howard last year was shaky.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins early on was shaky. JT Barrett was, I mean, just
Oh, rest in peace, sir.
yeah. I mean, Justin Fields, like when you went back and watched these quarterbacks, like you knew they were going to be good. You
Mhm.
knew they were going to be good, but you also were like, uh, watching Julian Sane, watching the decision making, watching how absolutely accurate he was with, like, the accuracy was off the charts. Like I said,
Right.
one inaccurate ball out of 20. Like, you can't do that on air. And
No.
he was spinning it, he was putting it where the ball needed to be. Sometimes receivers didn't help him out, but
Yeah.
I feel really comfortable. And they got a couple non Big Ten, couple games they should, they're going to be heavy favorites. Grambling State next weekend, and then OU the
Mhm.
week after, and then they start Big Ten play. He's gonna get a chance to get comfortable. And game on the defense of this title. Ohio State threw down the gauntlet this weekend, and they are going to be a tough out. They want to go back to back, and they're going to have every shot
So
to
I
do
have
it.
a, so I have a question for you before we
Yeah.
move on to our next topic. Um, AP rankings should be coming out, I believe, tomorrow.
Yes.
Where does Ohio State land?
Oh, they're number one, without a doubt. They'll be the number one team. Penn State will probably stay two. I think you're going to see LSU jump into the top four. After it's an impressive win going into Clemson and winning that game when Clemson was fourth in the country. You'll see them jump up. Miami's going to jump up after them beating Notre Dame.
Mhm.
I don't think Penn State. Like, I don't think. Remember, three of the top 10 teams of the country lost because six of the top 10
Right.
teams played each other. Like, so,
Right.
and we don't live in an era anymore where, except for Alabama's loss was inexplicable and embarrassing. So four of the top 10
Ooh.
teams lost. I apologize, because, Caleb DeBoer, like, that guy's a great coach, but there's something not happening there. That did not look like a Bama team. I watched a
No,
little bit of that game, and it's just like
that
they
was.
when you watched Alabama, they lived
Mhm.
off a fear factor. You knew that you were
Yeah.
going to get hit hard. You knew they were going
Mhm.
to be tough in the trenches, and you knew if you had made a mistake, they're probably going to beat you. And
Yep.
that was part of the Nick Saban trick was he got every other team to fear his team, and
Right.
rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, it's hard to argue Nick Saban's probably the greatest college football coach of all time. That is not that Alabama team the
Not
last
that
two
great of a
years.
coordinator.
Yeah,
Not that great of a coordinator though.
no, but I mean, I mean, Nick Saban. Once again, I'm not good, great coach, good human being. Like, I got no problem with Nick Saban, but the um the thing with that Bama team is there is no mystique anymore.
No.
There's no scare factor. Florida State was like, we're going to punch you in the face, and Bama didn't punch back, and they whooped
No.
on them. And
They sure did.
I mean, they've lost five of their last 14 games. Five of their last 14 games, Bama has lost. And by the way, three against unranked teams, which is just unheard of. And so, hot seat down there for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Big
good
time.
coach, unreasonable shoes to try to fill, and it is going to be a long year for the Tide because they got to play
How
they got to play some tough teams this year.
they do. So how far does Texas fall from number one, you think?
Uh, I think Texas stays in the top five. I think Texas goes 4 or 5.
That's kind of what I said. What
Yeah,
I said is that Ohio State and Texas are actually just going to swap.
it could be.
So,
It very possibly could be.
um, but
You know,
with so many of the other top 10 teams winning, I think that makes it a little difficult. But I don't think that they fall incredibly
no,
far. Unlike Alabama's definitely falling out of the top
no,
10,
they
top
they
15.
might
Um,
Alabama right now should not be in the top 20. That's not a top 20
no,
team,
no.
which is crazy
Um,
because they still have one of the best talented rosters in college football. But yeah, that's just not a good
they
team right now.
do, but right, the mystique is gone. I think the dynasty is over.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
but what I've also seen online and I find absolutely hilarious is the Penn State fan base is uh, an interesting um, commodity
I think
up
the
into
word you're looking
itself
for is
because
delusional.
I was trying to be nice, but sure, delusional is lovely. Because one, the fact that they were ranked number two going into the season, I think is incredibly generous. Um, and then, they came out, their first game obviously is going to be in Happy Valley, which is another um harsh, kind of hard environment to come play into as an opponent. Um, and they played a cupcake game. Let's be completely honest. And
Oh, they
yeah,
played
they
Nevada.
blew out.
Nevada.
Right, they played Nevada. Um, when I think of Nevada, my first thought is definitely not a college football team. Um, I'm not sure that there's a lot of people in Vegas that can spell college, but that's beside the point. You were supposed to win that game. You were supposed to win that game huge. Um, but there was a lot of rumblings in the Penn State camps that, well, we should take Texas's spot and take number one. Absolutely not. No, I'm sorry. You're gonna stay at number two for another week.
And enjoy
Um,
it. Enjoy it while you're there.
and enjoy it. And
Because
enjoy it while you're there because
because
one thing
James
that we do
Franklin
know,
is James
cannot win
Franklin's
big
going to break
games.
your heart. Yep.
James Franklin does James Franklin things when you need him to not do it the most. And it's coming. Like uh, it's good. There's death taxes and James Franklin choking. Like it happens. Um, which is unfair because again, he also is a good coach. But when you're playing at the upper echelon of the Big Ten, and I've said this before, the Big Ten or the Big 18 or whatever the hell you want to call them, there are tiers within tiers. So you've got that top tier, which is your Michigans, your Ohio States, your Oregon, and some in on that bottom, there could go either way is Penn State, but they want so bad to be, the big rough and tough. We are Penn State, okay, and
So
like they want so badly every year they want the rivalry that Michigan and Ohio State has. They want it with them. And it's just
so
like we look at them and they're like, "Oh, buddy. Oh,
state
you're
people at State
so
College, friends,
adorable."
friends of the Nittany Lions. If you're listening, watching, thank you. We appreciate your time.
We do.
Here's I'm going to give you some friendly advice. Okay, this is some friendly advice from BC. Enjoy the number two ranking. Take care of business until what, week 7, week 8. Come to Columbus and take the number one. Take number one because Ohio
Yeah.
State's going to be number one when you get there. Take it, and then there's no questions, and then you guys can
Yeah.
brag and feel good about yourselves. Just realize you're coming into Columbus against the number one defense in the country, against an offense with the most talented player in the country. And if you win that game, you've earned it. You're going to take on
You
the
have.
champs. And once again, Penn State, when you get the number two ranking, just cradle it, baby it. This just put it in a papoose. Enjoy it. Enjoy we got it. And then when you come into Columbus, follow Ric Flair. Be the man, you got to beat the man. And then
You
if you
want to
do
be
that,
the
then you
man,
can
you
have
got to
that number
beat the man.
you can have that number one ranking, but only then. You
That's
don't get it
right.
right now.
Only then.
You didn't
No,
win. You didn't win
not
national
yet.
title last year. You didn't beat Ohio State last year. You lost to
No.
Ohio State last year. So, and the year
Oh,
before, and the year before,
oh,
and the year before,
oh.
and the year before, and the year before. I can go back 12 times. Okay, so let's leave it there. Let's just leave it there, and yeah. So anyway,
So anyway,
go Bucks.
uh, kind of go Bucks indeed. A little segue that we can take on to our next segment. Uh, did you happen to catch who was also in Columbus
The entire
taking in
front
the Ohio
office of the
State?
Cleveland Browns and coaching staff. Yeah, I saw that. That's why. That's another one
I,
of my favorite takes of the weekend. Art sabotaged himself because he saw Jimmy Haslam.
I
so
mean, so a fun fact. One of my best friends from childhood. Um, I've talked about her on the pod before. She's the one who's getting ready to do the Velasano ride for cancer research. Her kids go to school with Andrew Barry's kids.
Yeah, you were saying
So,
this.
so I almost sent her a text message when I saw, Hasselman Barry on the sidelines in Columbus. I'm like, tell that man to get the hell out of there. No, no, no more quarterbacks. No, we got quarterbacks at home. We got quarterbacks at home. No.
I, I like to think
Speaking
that they were
of,
there
we got
scouting.
quarterbacks at home.
I was gonna say I would like to think they're scouting Caleb Downs. That's my already man crush for next year's draft. I want Caleb Downs on the Browns. Okay, so
I'd be
anyway,
happy with Sonny Styles, but
just take them both. We got 2 first-round picks. Let's take them both.
ooh, we
I'm all
do
right.
have to. Ooh,
I'm all right.
let's
Let's take
do
them
that.
both.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of, we have quarterbacks at home. Quarterback room's a little less crowded. The lovely time known as Black Tuesday, roster cuts and things like that. Uh, the man, the myth, the tiny hands himself is gone.
You're so sorry to see him go, weren't you? We barely knew you,
I
Kenny.
cried. I
We
cried
barely,
laughing.
we barely knew you.
Didn't want to. Didn't care. GTFO, my guy. Goodbye. Um,
By the
so
way,
now,
more Scarlet Carnations to Andrew Barry because I want you to think about this. So he traded the Lions' 5th-round pick this year. Okay, which
okay,
was really bad because the Lions are really good. And
right.
DTR, so he got rid of DTR, who ended up getting cut by the Eagles
They did cut him too, and I feel bad.
for Kenny Pickett, and then he flipped that into the Raiders' 5th-round pick, which will be much better than what the Lions' pick was last year. So kudos to Andrew Barry. He just did all that to swap 5th-round picks. Good job. Moved up in the
Right.
draft.
Woo-hoo. Moved up. Love that we're moving on up. So Tyler Snoop Huntley was also cut. Joe Flacco named number one, which is what I've called since he left.
You actually,
Um,
yeah, you called that last season
Good.
before we're like, what are we going to do at quarterback? You're like, we're going to bring Flacco back. So hey,
They're gonna bring back Flacco. Week one,
Scarlet
understand.
Carnations, the BB. Good
Thank you,
job.
thank you, thank you. Um, my Cash App is in the bio. There we go. No, I'm kidding. But no,
Oh,
so
no,
we've
no,
got
no,
Joe
no. Hold on,
Flacco, who
hold
is
on. Any proceeds go to my Hall of Fame project. Thank you. Like and subscribe.
not not if you're giving me my Scarlet Carnations. No, I'm not
BB's
paying for the
helping our
trash
project.
bag.
It was her
No,
idea. It was her idea.
I
She's
have
going to help us. She's going to help us take out the trash and rebuild that water park.
I have cats to put through college, my dude. No, no. I gotta keep them off the nip and off the pole. But like no, I'm not
Ow.
paying to take the trash out of Caston. No. Back to the Browns. Focus.
Go
You
Browns.
didn't take your ADHD meds tonight. Good grief. Squirrel.
It's that Lonnie knew. It's a lot of caffeine in here.
That shit's supposed to stop your heart. Like, you better be careful.
But Lonnie knew. It's only got like 150 milligrams caffeine. It's not too bad.
Mm.
I drink a
All
lot of
right.
water. It's fine. Thanks for
Okay.
looking out, though, there, partner. I appreciate it.
I mean, it'd be really kind of hard to do this show by myself. I can talk to myself, but I don't
What
know.
What would you do without all my love for K-pop or Taylor Swift? You'd miss me so much.
Not for those reasons, but yes, I would.
So Browns. Um,
Browns.
so here's the thing. I'm going to throw something out there. Although I think the Browns are
Okay.
going to have a rough season. I think their defense can be very good. Once again, if Flacco plays any semblance that he did, 2 years ago, maybe the Browns will be all right. But I think the Browns win Sunday.
Do
I
you?
think the Browns. I think the Browns beat the Bengals on Sunday. There's a lot of reasons for this, but I'm gonna take it down to 3, and then tell me what you
Okay.
think. Reason number one is the Bengals offseason has been an absolute cluster. It's been a mess. It's been embarrassing.
It has been the past
Mike
couple
Brown
of
might be the worst
seasons.
owner. Yeah, he might be the worst owner in the NFL. Between the stuff they did with the rookie, and I'm getting his name now, Samar Stewart, and then Trey Hendrickson, and like they're going to score a lot of points, but they are not going to stop anybody. I think that includes the Browns. That's number one. Number two is Joe Burrow's Bengals have traditionally got off to terrible starts. They were one of the best teams in the NFL at the end of last season last year, but their start prevented them from getting into the playoffs. And it just seems for some reason they're a slow starting team.
And for
On,
whatever reason, they struggle against the Browns. Like the Browns can
and
be
that
an absolute
yeah,
basement of a team, and the
and
Bengals
that
have historically played to that level,
and
and
that
that's
was my
caused
last
Cleveland
one.
to catch a couple of wins.
Last year the Browns were historically bad. I know they weren't 0-16 bad, but they were that 3-14 season was one of the worst seasons in Browns history. And that is the only time that Joe Burrow has beat Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. Kevin
Right.
Stefanski is 4-1 against them in Cleveland. The Browns have been really good against the Bengals at home in the last 6-7 years. Really since Baker came about, Baker owned them, and
Right.
then Stefanski has owned them at home. There's just a lot of reasons, and once again, it's going to be the first week of the season. It's not going to be jumping to conclusions, but I think the Browns are going to win this game. And we'll see what happens from there, because that just is the first of a gauntlet of doom for the first 6 games for the Browns as they play the next 5 opponents were in the
Yeah.
playoffs last year. So,
Oh yeah.
um, but we're not going to look ahead. It's I think at 1 o'clock next week in Cleveland. The first home opener I'm going to miss in a while. I will slightly miss my season tickets next week, slightly. And
Okay.
then I'll sit there and enjoy it at my couch, and knowing I didn't pay thousands of dollars to watch the Browns. So anyway, that being said, I like the Browns to start off season with on a good note next week.
I'm hopeful. I mean, I'd like to see. I'd like to see them come away with the W. Um, a side note, like there's been one thing in preseason that has really kind of made me laugh, and I'm not sure if you've seen any of this or not. Have you seen any of the videos with Joe Flacco and David Njoku?
I have not.
This is the bromance that is starting, and it is absolutely it's magic. Like I need you now to go on YouTube. There is a video of them um in like a dune buggy or something, and David Njoku is a very large child. Like there is no doubt about that, and I absolutely love him. There's a video, I want to say it was a couple of years ago, and he was having an absolute beast of a game. And he's going to Stefanski on the sidelines, asking if he wants him to kick the extra point because we have
I do remember
career.
that one.
Kev, you want me to kick it? I strong. Like, and he's like a child, and it's the best way possible. But so him and Flacco, because from what we've seen from Joe Flacco, he's older. He's been around the block a few times, and he's a little bit more reserved. And Joku is not. And there was a video of the two of them sitting on the sideline during one of the preseason games, and he gives him a pair of sunglasses, and he's explaining that these sunglasses are like 5K, and everything is sharper and whatever. So Flacco puts them on, and he's like, "Oh, everything is like brighter." And this, it was it's
I'll have to
the
look it
buddy,
up.
it's the buddy comedy that you didn't know that you needed. Like it's absolutely precious. So I'm looking forward to more of that.
So fun stuff about that, by the way. I mean, we have to remember when Flacco had all his success. My God, did David Njoku and Amari Cooper blow up? They
Yeah.
had the best games of their career with Joe Flacco.
Oh
So I'm
yeah.
sure David Njoku is happy. And by the way, David Njoku seemed like he's been on the Browns forever. He's only 27.
See, that's the
The,
other thing.
the Browns
And
drafted him when he was 20.
I know. And
Crazy.
I felt the same way. Um, about Chubb. I'm like, he's been on the Browns forever, and he's not even 30. I'm like,
Yeah.
how'd that work? Well, partly
Yeah.
because Chubb's an old soul, and he's just real, real quiet and
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, he's only 27, 28 years old. I'm like,
Yeah. Miles is only 29 and it feels like
I
he's been on the Browns
know.
forever. He's not even 30 yet.
He's like the
It's
old man, right? He's like the old
yeah.
man on the
He is.
roster.
Denzel's 28. Like these guys, like they're talking about an aging roster, and I'm like, these guys are in their prime. These guys are just in their prime right now.
Denzel
So
is 28. However, in concussion years, though, I mean, it's like dog years. So they're like,
yeah, we
he's getting up there a little.
if the Browns are going to be successful, he has to play. He has to play
He
almost
has to
every
stay
game
healthy.
because
He
that
does.
cornerback room without Martin Emerson. I mean, you got great.
Is
You're going to
thin.
Greg Newsome, to his defense, has played a lot better on the outside than he has on the inside. So he's going back to the outside to fill
Right.
in for Martin Emerson. But yeah, that cornerback room is really really
Thin.
tight right now, and if they can't sustain another injury, especially to Denzel, especially to Denzel.
No. No, and unfortunately, that man has not played a full season of football since his junior year in college.
Yeah, yeah, he's just we need to keep him. He
You
just
know,
needs to Denzel.
and I
I
love him
want
to
you.
death.
I want you to go to Shador, Denzel, and I want you to say, "Hey, Shador, I need some film of your dad." And I want you to defend like Dion. Dion never made a tackle. Dion didn't try a
No.
tackle. Dion just prevented the ball from going into the receiver's hands. Dion was not physical. He was just the best cover cornerback to ever play the game, and you are one of the best cover cornerbacks to ever play the game. There's a spot in Canton for you, Denzel. There will be a couple more years if you can stay healthy. So don't hit anybody. I know you love to hit people. Quit. Keep your head up.
Stop hanging out with
Defend.
Miles.
Yep. Yep. Just whatever you do, just avoid contact and cover receivers. Shut down Jamar
Yep,
Chase like you shut down Jamar Chase. Shut
that's
down
right.
whoever the number one is, like you do. Like I said, there's going to be a spot for you in Canton, and yeah, just stay healthy a couple more years, buddy.
Speaking of Dion, definitely want to say, congratulations on being in remission.
Yes.
He came out publicly that he was fighting bladder cancer this past spring, and that's kind of scary stuff. Um, but I also saw something, and we were watching the Colorado game. We were out at a bar Friday night watching a local band play, and the University of Colorado has basically a bathroom on the sidelines for Dion now because he's got
Yeah.
issues after having surgery and things like that. So I'm like, okay, that's really cool. Here I am. I'm thinking it's going to be like this discreet, you know, black. It's going to look like the medical tent, but maybe like
Right.
black. Just kind of just no. The thing is sponsored by Depends.
Is it seriously?
I am dead ass right now.
Oh
Like
my
it is.
god.
It looks like the medical tent. It's black and on big white letters. It is sponsored by Depends. I'm like, y'all, can we get that
Uh,
man some dignity? Like, can we?
couldn't find dude wipes.
I'm sure the Browns can send you a pack now because they're sponsored by Dude Wipes. But really,
Yeah,
can we give this man a
that's.
little bit of dignity?
I have to imagine Dion signed off on that and probably laughed about it. I have to
Oh, I'm
imagine.
sure he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure he thinks it's hilarious, but at the same time,
Yeah.
and it is. I mean,
It is funny.
it kind of is. But at the same time, like, really?
You know what we did today, BB?
What
I
did we do
covered the
today?
whole note sheet. We got everything in.
Look at you. You made
By the way,
notes. I
your
didn't.
Browns are the Browns going to win next week?
Um,
Before we wrap up here,
I think they will. I think they will pull out a W next week. Like I said, I saw a lot of things that were cautiously optimistic in the preseason. So, and I know those were second and third string guys that are fighting for a spot. Um, so I think plugging in the starters and things like that, I think it can only get better. Uh, but historically, coming out of camp, this is the first time actually I will say that the Browns are coming out of camp and they actually do look ready to play.
They do.
Um,
Absolutely.
which is a good thing. So as long as everybody comes together, puts their head down, does what they need to do, no stupid mistakes, I think the
They
Browns come
had
away with a win.
they had a much more physical camp for the first time under Kevin Stefanski, and it seems to have paid
Yeah,
dividends. A heck of a lot
yeah.
less injuries. They look so much. They look like a professional unit during the preseason, which I can't
They
say
do,
in the
instead of
past.
looking like a JV team.
Yeah, and they're going. I don't think they're going to be ready next week. We'll see if they're good enough. But once again, there's just a lot of things going in their favor next week. That just cautiously optimistic is the correct phraseology there. I agree with you.
Yeah,
And I like the Browns next Sunday, and we will be talking about them afterwards.
we will. So, with all that being said, from the dog pound to the shoe and all of the scarlet carnations in between, I'm BB,
I'm BC.
and this has been the I-71 Playbook Podcast.
Like and subscribe.